guys, welcome back to the second episode of the second season of Arsenal here on FIFA 23. We're looking to make some signings at the beginning of this second season, and thanks to your feedback on episode 1, we have a primary target for our main marquee position that we're looking to bring in. Forgive, A, if this video is a little bit late out, and B, I am full of cold, so if there are sniffles, snuffles, etc., then I shall try and edit out as much of it as I possibly can, but forgive anything of that nature throughout the course of today's episode and probably the next couple as well. But we're looking to fill a centre mid spot to bring someone into play ahead of Zinchenko, because that is the obvious place to improve in that starting 11. And I gave you a number of options in the last episode, and it was pretty resounding actually. Very one way, well, two ways actually. The most suggested in the terms of what you think would suit the style of play for the team and what would be within the realms of possibility given the nature of the side and how we played last year and the level that we're at. The two in question are Marcos Llorente and Lorenzo Pellegrini. And Kimmich, you guys were pretty adamant you didn't want me to sign Joshua Kimmich. Kante is definitely a third choice. Frenkie de Jong is a no from you guys. So in order, actually in reverse order from that, Pellegrini is target A, Llorente will be target B, and N'Golo Kante target C, should we not be able to get either of the first two done. Pellegrini is currently in talks with Bayer Leverkusen, so we are going to swoop and try and steal him away from the Germans as best we can. Their asking price is 81.9. Why not just ask for 82? I don't know. But we apparently have the chance at this deal with an offer of around 65.5, which would be very agreeable indeed. £65.5 million for a 27-year-old with scope to grow, who's already quality and a significant improvement on everything else we have in that position in the squad. Seems to make a lot of sense. So, let's see if we can get Marcos Llorente. No. Let's see if we can get Lorenzo Pellegrini to come and sign for Arsenal. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come and we won't be able to agree a fee. And we'll end up having to go for Marcos Llorente. I'll ask for £58 million if they'll allow me to have him for that little. They do want 81.9. Sports executive did say that was going to be their asking price, but they reckon I can get him for significantly less. 65.5 was the recommended. I'll try for 64. And they'll just accept 64. There's not really much negotiation that's gone on there, is there? I've gone, I'll give you 58. We want 82. I'll give you 64. Done! Deal! Signed! Okay, thanks, Roma. Right, so he's currently on £90,000 a week. He would probably want a bit of an upgrade. Although Roma, I imagine, aren't necessarily shy on finances at their club. Important, not crucial, is very good for me. 4-year contract length is absolutely agreeable as well. No release clause is fine. Wage-wise, I'll offer him 110 because why not? Apparently, I have a weekly wage budget of £2.6 million available a week. I think I might ask the devs if we can have our little toggle back because reading it as it is there, I have absolutely no idea how much money I might actually have as a maximum ceiling for my transfer budget. So I think I might ask for us to have the little thingy back. And I think you guys would probably like it back as well. There you go. Lorenzo Pellegrini is back. He is in. And a marquee signing is on the way. Have a quick signature of the ball for the young man. And this time, rather than just popping in on my phone, shaking a hand and leaving, certainly welcoming Lorenzo Pellegrini into the club first hand and taking pictures for the media, which we didn't do with Bobby Firmino or Cesar Azpilicueta, of course. Even keeping a watching eye on his medical as it's taken by the physio. And he seems to be in good spirits. Here you go, mate. You're going to have number 15. I'll be honest. I'll probably give him a better number than number 15. But I'd like to think Arsenal fans will be happy with that. A player of true quality coming into a squad that is looking upwards from where it finished last year. And, of course, where we finished last year was second. So the title is the aim this season. And, hey! We'll take that very much indeed. An excellent deal. Brand new signing in. Aiming for the Premier League title. Aiming for an FA Cup. And aiming for, well, hopefully a Champions League title as well. I was going to say just the final, because that's what the board want. But if you're going to get to the final, you might as well bloody win it. Now, we have 3 games to play in today's episode. Because I'm pushed for time to get this out to you, and on the back of playing Liverpool yesterday, and on playing Liverpool the day before that as well, with the final game of the previous season, I'm going to sim Liverpool at home, and I'll play Sheffield United and Newcastle in today's episode. Just because, quite frankly, I'm a little bit fed up with playing Liverpool. They're the only team I seem to play at the moment. So we will take Zinchenko out there, and actually he will drop straight to the reserves. Because, Jesus, I've got a lot of deadwood I need to get out. Let's pop Zinchenko in here, shall we? There we go. Because I'd rather draw a Musa, Gibril, so in midfield, and Gusto as the youngster at fullback that I want to try and bring in. So Pellegrini still getting a +1 with minimal sharpness at centre mid, even though he's down as a cam. So I can go into the squad hub, and I'd like to think, judging by the fact that he's still getting a little bit of a boost and not getting any negatives, it shouldn't take too long to actually develop him into a centre mid. I'm hoping. Are my prayers answered? They are! 2 weeks, and Lorenzo Pellegrini will be a centre mid. Perfetto! Right then. Dai! Forza Arsenal. Let's go and start the Premier League season strong, shall we? Pablo Mari sold and gone to Sassuolo. Barcelona have come in to try and loan Fabio Vieira. I will accept, only because I can always recall him if I feel like I need him. And that will be the plan. Obviously, we brought Bobby in on a free to try and get some more quality in that backup attacker role. Now, Napoli have come in for Xhaka, and I'm going to reject that because Granit Xhaka stays at Arsenal. I'm sure that's what you Arsenal fans in the viewership would want. This is going to be another player leaving. It is. Bye! Amario Kozia Dubry has gone to Charlotte FC in the MLS for £1.25 million. Toodle pip. We won't miss you, pal. Sorry, mate. Right, Arsenal versus Liverpool then is up next. We will go to the pre-match press conference just to try and boost morale a little bit before we jump into the simulation of this game. The first team is as strong as it could be. Of course, Bukayo Saka missed a lot of the end of last season through injury, but I believe in my players, and he's back now as well. And actually came back with a bit of a bang, didn't he, scoring a couple of goals against Leicester. And that result against Leicester actually is the sole reason why we finished in second and not third. The extra goal difference we got from whacking 7 past the Foxes is what saw us finish above Manchester City on goal difference. Alisson, Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip, Trent, Thiago, Fabinho, Verratti, Diaz, Nunez and Salah. You can see my starting lineup. It's as you would expect it to be. And... oh! Even with 10 men at the end, Smith Rowe extends the advantage from 2-1 to 3-1. Liverpool this year, just as they've been a little bit iffy in real life, they're a little bit iffy in FIFA as well, you know. We've beaten them almost every single time we've played them, and certainly the last 3 times we've had them now, we have come away with victory, and I think we've come away with 3 goals in each of those 3 games as well. Tierney after a minute, which is weird because Martinelli scored against Liverpool at the Emirates at the weekend after a minute. And Arsenal put 3 past Liverpool there as well. Gabby Jesus added a second. Luis Diaz pulled on that. They could have had an equaliser, actually. Well, it could have been an equaliser, as Mo Salah had one disallowed 3 minutes prior. Tielemans then got a red card, and Emil Smith Rowe sealed the deal with 5 minutes to go. Well, we've started the season off on the right foot. Now we just need to keep that going. Up next was Newcastle, I believe it was. A loan bid for Marquinhos, and that certainly is going to be a no. I meant to click on reject. Bye, sorry. I pressed the wrong button. You can't really get away with that in real life, though, can you? You can't say, oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. And then arrange a... arrange a meeting. Right, Norton Cuffy transfer bid. We will just accept that because we've got a lot of young players to move out. But in the meantime, I'm going to go and make sure that my players are as fit and as sharp as possible for the game against Newcastle. And I will see you then. In the meantime, make sure you drop the video a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you won't miss out on any more of this save either. Of course, there will be a My Player coming to you later on this afternoon as well. Sheffield United back in the Premier League. They're having a great season in the Championship, looking to do the same in real life as well. Wes Fotheringham in between the sticks for them. In their 5 at the back, they've Jaden Bogle, Chris Basham, John Egan, Anel Ahmed Hodzic. Well done. Ben Osborne at left wing back as well. Sanderberger and John Fleck in midfield with Iliman Ndiaye at cam. Ollie McBurney up top alongside Oscar Tati Maritu. They do have some options on the bench of similar quality, but well, I don't need to say it, do I? It's a game we should win. Live from Bramall Lane, Lorenzo Pellegrini's first touch for me. You'll have to let me know in the comment section what number you think I should give to Lorenzo Pellegrini, and if there are any other number changes you would like to... Oh, that was poor. You'd like to see in the squad. I don't really know other than Lorenzo Pellegrini, there's anyone that should really have a number change. Maybe Tomiyasu could change to number 2 as our starting right back now. But that's probably the only one. That's a lovely ball into Bukayo Saka. And Jesus will play Ødegaard here in. And we're in behind. And we will score. And one thing I meant to do, actually, and I will do after this game now that I've reminded myself, is I'm actually going to up it from Legendary to Ultimate to see if that increases a little bit of the difficulty. We have, on occasion, whilst we've certainly had our challenges in this Arsenal save, we have on occasion, like the defender there, seen the defenders not be quite as good as they could be or should be. Now, I don't know if changing it to Ultimate will actually make it more difficult defensively, but that's what some of you guys have recommended, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'll remember to actually do it after this game. My live chat will remind me as well. And whilst I'm on the note of things I forgot to do, I want to say thank you to Jake as well for joining the Patreon. Thank you very much, Jake. I appreciate it. We shall dedicate that goal to you, sir. And Pellegrini can't quite get past the man. He should be pretty good in all areas, Pellegrini. More prowess in offensive ways than defensive, I would imagine. But that's what I want him to do. I want him to be offensive, not defensive. It was poor from me. I delayed a little bit too long with that pass. Sheffield United trying to build here. They've been pretty poor in possession so far and keep giving it away. I need to not have Gabriel be quite so far out of position. But the position that he was in meant that he was in the right place to intercept that. So maybe I had him in the right place all along. Here's Djibril Sow trying to close down Ndiaye. And hopefully Sheffield United won't have too many chances on goal throughout the course of this game. Fingers crossed we can get some more continued growth for the rest of this squad this season. We have a number of players that should continue to grow. And I'm hoping that by the end of this second season, we will have a genuinely world-class team in every single position. We're not far off it now, to be fair, but certainly I could be a little bit better in my passing as well. Can't be criticising Sheffield United's when mine has been just as bad. Oh, that's a lovely ball. If he's onside him, Maritu, which he appears to be, then it's 1-1. And indeed it is. How? Excuse me? With your default pink boots? It's really tight, but Tierney just shouldn't be there. He had no reason to be there whatsoever. He just was. Hopefully on Ultimate, things like that don't happen. But I might have to have a fiddle with the sliders. I'm not sure yet. I don't want to fiddle with it too much, because I feel like I over-fiddled with FIFA 22. And I'm apprehensive about doing the same with 23, which is why so far we've had default Legendary. We will try default Ultimate against Newcastle in the next game. Admittedly, I thought it was Newcastle, then Sheffield United. It's not. It's Sheffield United, then Newcastle. So I'll try Ultimate against Newcastle, and we'll see if that makes things a little bit more difficult offensively, and hopefully just a little bit more realistic on my side as well. But evidently, as poor as the AI defence is going to be for the opposing team, they're going to be just as bad for me. So every goal that feels a little bit easy to score, there's going to be goals that feel a little bit too easy for the AI to score against me. So maybe we've already found the middle ground, but we'll try out Ultimate and see what it's like this year. Ødegaard out of his feet quickly into Djibril Sow. You can see Pellegrini getting forward, and it's a good turn there to keep hold of possession. Saka to Ødegaard. Jesus has the opportunity to get in behind, but the pass isn't great. Sanderberger. Whoa, I went for it there. I really committed. Big ping from Sanderberger out to Ben Osborne. To be fair to them, Sheffield United, they have had a crack at this. Getting bodies forward and not being too defensive and just trying to hold on for a draw. They're going for it and trying to get themselves a decent result here. Which I guess with the extra confidence of having just gotten promoted, you can well imagine that they would try that, perhaps in real life as well. Gabby Jesus will look for Ødegaard, and he's found well. And we'll get it out to Bukayo Saka here. I don't really have that aerial focal point without Marcus Thuram through the middle. But even if Thuram was on, there's a lot of defenders back there. A solid enough first half, and confident that we can get ourselves a win from this still, but level at the break. Basham into Sander Berge. It's opened up here a little bit for Sheffield United, and Jayden Bogle is in. Gabriel comes across and deals with it. Such faith do we have in our backline at the moment. The defenders that we've got, that are still the ones that we started with, are just so solid with the growth that they've had. The mistakes that were in there earlier on in the save just aren't evident anymore. They're so solid. Ødegaard into the middle. Here's Bukayo Saka. There is the lead at Bramall Lane for Arsenal for a second time. Now let's not give it away this time, shall we? We are in front and looking to keep ourselves with a 100% winning record. Sander Berge poked out wide. Couldn't really make up their mind as to who wanted to go for that. A little bit of miscommunication with the Sheffield United backline, and then, well, plenty of miscommunication there because that was nowhere near anyone. No outfield player from either side, just straight to the goalkeeper, Jibril So. Trying to feed that in behind. We got a little nudge in the back there when playing it, so couldn't quite find the pass he was after. They very nearly gifted me possession horribly there, Sheffield United. Taking a few too many risks at the moment, Sheffield United. It's a little bit too easy to win the ball back off them at the minute, for their liking. They're just not, just as I'm about to say, they're not quite good enough with possession and don't really look like scoring. They very nearly create the opportunity to go and score a bloody goal. Now, I could make some changes in this second half, and I probably should just to manage the squad appropriately, but I don't necessarily feel like I need to make any changes because, of course, we have a full week between each game at this moment of the season, but we will make some changes to try and give some fringe players some football early doors in the season, and also, of course, ensure that those youngsters like Marquinhos and Smith Rowe, etc., continue to grow as well. We don't want to risk injuries with tiring players either, regardless of whether they have a week off or not to recover stamina-wise. Don't want to have them so tired that they end up getting injured in a game and missing more than a week. So Martinelli will get this inside here to Gabby Jesus, and Ødegaard is making the rush in. He scored the first. He hasn't scored the third. Fotheringham makes a good save, and from the resulting corner, we might still add the third. But we won't be. Or is that another corner? It's another corner. All right, well, we'll try again then, shall we? Martinelli for a second time in towards the middle. And, oi, tried his best, okay. We'll try from the corner again, shall we? Martinelli into the middle from the corner. Towards the back post, actually. Try and nod that down to a teammate and then have the shot. Well, unorthodox, because that was a shot from Zinchenko that ended up being headed on target by a teammate. But another bloody corner. Can't seem to get it away from the penalty area at the minute, can they? Marquinhos wins that. It's down to Zinchenko on his left. Cleared away by the defender. Saliba tries to get there and has managed to do so. But I can't get it to Bobby Firmino. But all of those corners have wasted all of the time. And provided we get the ball off them or force them wide and towards out of play or backwards, that'll be game, ref. Thank you. 3 points to follow up the victory against Liverpool with actually a narrower victory against Sheffield United. I'll up it to Ultimate for the next game, and we shall head to St James's Park now and see what Ultimate difficulty is like on FIFA 23. Newcastle with Nick Pope in goal, Trippier, Schär, Botman and Target. 85 rated Ilkay Gundogan in their midfield. I believe he may have been a free signing as well. Haidara and Bruno Guimaraes in the midfield too. Viktor Zigankov seems to be a regular acquisition by Newcastle United on the right-hand side of their midfield. Alexander Isak in at striker and Ryan Fraser on the left. No Alan Saint-Maximin at Newcastle anymore. Not sure where he's gone. We will perhaps find out at the end of the episode when we have a look through the transfer window. Options on the bench are basically what Newcastle always have on the bench. So we shall see what Legendary is all about. Yuri Tielemans is back after suspension from getting himself sent off against Liverpool. Thank you, mate. So we'll see what we can do here. This is my first ever game on Ultimate on FIFA 23. Saka. Forward to Gabby Jesus. Ødegaard is there. It's a brilliant run. It's a brilliant ball. It's a wonderful goal. We may be on the highest difficulty, But we've got some real quality in our team, and when we can score goals of that nature, you could up the difficulty even further than Ultimate. We'll still score some really, really good finishes. That is 1-0 Arsenal, and in quite some style as well. Jesus took both centre-backs deep, and Odegaard with a first-time finish on his left foot. Our highest-rated player proves exactly why he's 87 rated. Top goal. Nicely picked off by Pellegrini. Giving the ball away there, Newcastle. Gabby Jesus will... look left was the plan. I've had the ball taken away from me, and Isak's looking to get in behind. Here's Ryan Fraser. He's going to be bloody quick. Can't get it off him at the minute, and they're playing this about nicely here, Newcastle. This is a really good move. Gundogan looking for Isak again. And to Sigankov, waiting for the cutback on that left foot. There it is. It'll be a corner for Newcastle, though. Immediately, they look to respond the same way that Sheffield United did, and that wasn't easy to deal with that. Up we go, please. Yes, Aaron Ramsdale. Love that. That was actually a good indication of the new physics that are in the game this year. Last year, you've seen, like, players unrealistically kind of floating in the air or bumping off each other or clipping into each other. But watch Ramsdale here. Watch the way that he like bumps the Newcastle man out of the way and like reaches. It's a change in the physics engine this year. He goes up for this and like arches his back and actually catches that and bumps off the plate in a realistic fashion. That's new this year. As much as we shit on EA for all of the things they do wrong, I do like to also highlight things that are genuinely improved this year. Or any given year. And that is one of them. Unfortunately, for everything that's improved, there is something that's broken, which is part of the fucking problem. But it is what it is. I'm not going to... It's not like I stop making content on it. I'll play the game regardless, because that's what my job is. Martinelli, forward to Gabby Jesus. He's going to need that support, and it is arriving here. Here is Martinelli again. I'll just nod that for Jesus. And I was hoping that the weight of pass would be perfect. Oh, it was nearly perfect there. Pellegrini's got up nicely to that. Try and get Pellegrini in again. Jesus. Well, inadvertently get Pellegrini in again. Martinelli, tuck it back. Gabby, 2-0. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0. Ultimate or not, we're still winning. Gabriel into Martinelli. Switched across there to Odegaard and into Gabby Jesus. Martinelli I've asked to run and we'll play him in and we'll drill it into the middle. Wasn't particularly drilled, but did find a man in the middle, but we're not able to get a third goal there. Sigankov and Trippier work it away. They have been better in possession here, Newcastle, but I don't know if that's because it's Newcastle, not Sheffield United, and they've got higher rated players, or if it's because of the change in difficulty. I guess we'll only be able to tell for sure once we've played a handful more games and we've got a larger set of data to actually draw experience from and conclusions from. But you can see the way that they're playing the ball about here, but thankfully the shot is saved comfortably by Ramsdale. We have had our Champions League draw, by the way. Our group stage of the Champions League has been drawn, and I'll show you the teams when we get back to the menus as we're looking through transfer deadline day as well. Tomiyasu forward to Bukayo Saka here. In there to Pellegrini. He holds the ball up really nicely, actually. Into Martinelli, out of his feet, looking to bend it. Hits Sven Botman in the face. I'll tuck this back. Asked for a first time, didn't get it. Odegaard. Ho-ho! That was poor. Out wide to Kieran Trippier. And Haidara to Gundogan. That's nicely through there to Alexander Isak. Bruno Guimaraes, Ryan Fraser. Was headed towards the top corner and certainly needed saving, as have a couple of efforts from Newcastle in that first half. But thus far, we're on top and we look good. Playing some nice football, scoring some quality goals. And at this point, we look like we should, touch wood, get 3 wins from 3. Odegaard nods that down. And Tomiyasu's positioning is good. Pushing forward, getting aggressive. You guys also have noted in the comment section, regardless of what I've said about Tomiyasu, you guys were also acutely aware of how good Tomiyasu's actually ended up being. It was my absolute intention at the beginning of the save to replace Tomiyasu as my starting right back, especially with the movement of Hector Bellerin out. But he has made that position his own, Tomiyasu, and you guys have noted that as well. Saka with the effort, acrobatically, but straight at the keeper. Pellegrini, lovely ball the outside the foot out to Kieran. You can see the run being made by Martin Ødegaard. And Marcus Thuram is off the bench for me here. And look at that hold-up play. Absolutely brilliant. Tielemans looking for Bukayo Saka, but can't find him. Would have been a lovely pass. That's the sort of thing that I don't get from Gabby Jesus. That level of hold-up play. That was big Sven Botman that Marcus Thuram just shrugged off. And that's why I bought in a player like Thuram. Because that's what I wanted from a secondary option, was someone that can be that physical boss up top. He doesn't quite have the pace nor the dribbling skill, but just as a battering ram, Marcus Thuram is doing a job. That is game over. 3 of the best. Wins, goals, and 9 points. Cross into Ilkay Gundogan. Holds the ball up well. Really well, in fact. Corner ball. In stoppage time at the end of the half. They're bringing on Miggy Almiron. But even if Almiron scores here and now, or anyone scores here and now, that's game. A 3-0 win against Newcastle. My first game in Ultimate went according to plan. You love to see it. We will not keep 100% win record up for the full season. And certainly Newcastle had chances in that game, and some good ones too, particularly Ryan Fraser headed towards the top corner. But we get the victory. That's 3 from 3 at the beginning of the season. And we are starting to look like real-life Arsenal now. To be fair, at the end of last season, we were starting to look like real-life Arsenal. That is now 19 Premier League games in a row unbeaten. We were 16 unbeaten at the end of last season, and we've pushed into 19 now with 3 straight victories at the beginning of this season. Marcelo Flores is out to Middlesbrough. A number of young players have been moved out this season, and I will quickly simulate training as we head towards transfer deadline day so you guys can see what else has happened throughout the course of this window. We're not planning on doing anything else, neither incoming nor outgoing, other than a bit more of the Deadwood moving on. A couple of players have had transfer fees accepted for them, but then they haven't been able to negotiate contracts, and it's perhaps slightly because we can't expect everybody to be able to afford the sort of wages that the Arsenal players are on. Athletic Club de Bilbao have come in for Smith Rowe, the classic Basque player. In Football Manager, Athletic Club de Bilbao do sign Basque-only players. In FIFA, not that realistic, I'm afraid. And West Ham have come in for Ben White. No, mate. He stays. Ben White continues on. So, biggest deals so far this window are Gerard Moreno, 48.4, same as the latest deals. Top deals, Gerard Moreno, Amin Adli, and Joe Scally. 10 hours to go. Let's see what happens. Right, let's have a countdown then, shall we? Oh, latest rumours. Ronald Araujo to Spurs is a rumour. Marquinhos loan bid from Everton, which we, of course, will reject. And Runnison is certainly a player I would like to try and get a deal for, but I don't want a player in exchange. I just want some money, please, if you don't mind. So the top deals tab is currently showing top deals for deadline day itself, not for the whole window. If you press triangle and go to transfer history, you can see the top deals so far in this window. So I have reported that to the devs, because previously the top deals tab would show you the top deals for the whole transfer window, not just for deadline day itself. But regardless, we can see what has been done on deadline day so far. You can see Rafa Mir has now gone to Real Sociedad for £48.9 million. That transfer has gone through in the last hour. And Jorginho also, that transfer has gone through in the last hour. Jorginho to Roma. Continually, you can see rumours on the left-hand side. I too also miss the ability to, on deadline day, during the countdown, scroll through what other teams in your league are doing or have done in the transfer window. And I've also reported that back to the devs as well. So I know you guys have a lot of feedback, and I'm quite happy to pass that feedback on, obviously in a constructive manner, rather than just ranting. I'm quite happy to rant on stream, but obviously when I give the feedback to the devs, I'm a bit more constructive and a bit more professional with how I do it. But when we're just shooting the shit in a YouTube video or on a Twitch stream. We're a bit more candid, shall we say. West Brom have come back and said, we'll give you £1 million. And I'm quite happy to accept the £1 million. Thank you very much. More big deals. Nuno Mendes from PSG to Barcelona and Nicolas Gonzalez from Fiorentina to Sevilla. £51.2 million. Joe Gomez has gone from the rumours list on the left to the latest deals tab on the right, as has Ronald Araujo there as well. Sometimes we've seen players go from the rumours list to the latest deals list, but not to the club they were rumoured to be signing for, whereas Araujo has gone to the club he was rumoured to be signing for. Araujo 71.3 to Spurs. Joe Gomez 48.7 to Fiorentina. Those deals getting done here so far in this window. Gabby Jesus there was actually rumoured as well. That's Runnison going to West Bromwich Albion. Toodle pip, sunshine. Toodle pip. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Bye. Bid for Oli Inca, which we shall also accept. And you're not getting Gabby Jesus. Trying to spend the Anthony money there, Ajax, but I'm not having any of it, I'm afraid. Gabby Jesus is one of, if not the, best goal scorer in the league right now. Patrick Schick, however, has just joined the league. Just give me some money, please. Patrick Schick has joined the league for a deadline day leading £92.7 million to Manchester United from Bayer Leverkusen. That is a statement of intent from the Manchester side. Finally, they have properly replaced a striker. The transfer talks end for Okonkwo. Unfortunately, Aziz has had a bid come in from us all. We're getting a lot of bids now on deadline day for these youngsters, which is good news. That's what we wanted, really. We've been making a lot of sales throughout the course of this window with those youngsters, and I'm quite happy to sell them all on because we're quite frankly just not going to use them. This isn't the save for youngsters to come through. We will have saves like that later in the FIFA year, but that is not what this save is all about. For now, we're rejecting all bids for my first team players because quite frankly I feel like we're in a position to be able to adequately do so. We are, well, hopefully top of the table actually. Oh, Sayan's contract not gone through, and Leverkusen coming in for Ben White, looking to spend some of their Patrick Schick money, but they're not going to be able to, and we're not actually top. Aston Villa lead the way after 3 games. Their goal difference better than ours, but as we end transfer deadline day, they're your top deals on the day, and I will show you the top deals for the full window now, as we end no, on the wrong tab, as we end the day. So, top deals for that window as a whole were Fede Valverde from Real Madrid to PSG. Probably the only move you might have expected Fede Valverde to make. 115.4 million. We had Goretzka on our shortlist. He's gone to Juventus for 105. Florian Wirtz has gone to Manchester United for 98.2. So, Man United have given Bayer Leverkusen £190 million in that window. Florian Wirtz and Patrick Schick join Manchester United. They mean business this year. Leverkusen have spent some of that money. A shock signing, to be fair. Musiala has gone. 83 rated. Jamal Musiala has gone from Bayern Munich to Bayer Leverkusen. Araujo you saw. A shock departure there as well. Ansu Fati sold by Barcelona to Lazio for 70 million. Joško Vardiol has made his way to La Liga. Verratti we knew of. Pellegrini we did. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic has gone to Liverpool. Leroy Sané has gone to Inter Milan. Sané's a player that never really gets mentioned in the comment section anymore. Since he went to Bayern, everyone's like, okay, nobody really is going to sign him. He's still very, very good and young, and an option certainly for any saves moving forward. Nabil Fekir has gone to Bayern Munich. They've also sold in Munich. Luca Hernandez has gone to Roma as well. Oyarzabal has gone to PSG. He normally ends up at Arsenal previously on career mode. Mahrez has gone to Spurs. Upamecano to Sevilla. Nuno Mendes we saw. Gonzalez we saw. Alaba to Spurs as well. So Tottenham making some signings, some good quality signings as well. Lenormand has gone to Leverkusen. Rafa Mir we saw. Joe Gomez we saw. Rafael Varane has now left Manchester United and gone to Juventus for 47.9. Thiago Alcantara goes to Real Madrid. Presnel Kimpembe to Atleti. Jorginho, we saw. Roma signing 2 quality central midfielders for the exact same price. Ruben Neves goes to Roma as well. Gundogan to Newcastle wasn't on a free as I previously thought. £43.5 million. Reynan Lodi to Juventus. Sigankov, as we saw. Saint-Maximin, we thought he'd left Newcastle. He'd gone to Bayern Munich for 41.7. He's their Leroy Sané replacement. A downgrade for me, but best of luck to him. Conor Gallagher to Fiorentina. Ciro Immobile finally gets a move from Lazio, an upgrade to Inter Milan. Moussa Dembele to Bayern is a weird one. Ollie Skip to Palace. Some first-team football for him there, you would imagine. Still only 22, Ollie Skip. Feels like he's been around forever. Hussam Aouar finally gets a move from Lyon to Manchester United. So they've spent over 200 million, Man U, in this window. Moussa Barrow to Lazio. Ezri Konsa's gone to Everton. Leon Bailey to Leverkusen. Back to Germany. Was it Leverkusen that Leon Bailey came from? I think it was, wasn't it? I'll have to Google that. Davide Calabria to Barcelona. Moise Keane has gone to Sporting as well. And they are your transfers. I'll show you our Champions League group as that has now been drawn. Of course, we are in the Champions League this season. And our group is as follows. Roma, who we signed Pellegrini from and who have been very active in the window. Borussia Mönchengladbach and Dinamo Zagreb. A progressible group, a winnable group, and we shall try and do so. So that will actually start, in fact, in the next episode. We have some Champions League football to bring to you in the next video. Stoke, back in the Premier League. Roma, Aston Villa, and then probably Sim Colchester as well in the Carabao Cup. Sorry, Colchester. Think we should be winning that one, regardless of whether we sim or not. And then we could do Fulham, Dinamo Zagreb, Blackburn, and probably Crystal Palace after that as well. Right, that'll be all for today, though. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Apologies if there are any snuffles or sniffles or coughs or anything in there. I'm going to try and edit most of it out. I am struggling to breathe at times, though, as live chat will attest. Do come and join me over on Twitch. We do stream all of the content we record over on Twitch, so you can have an input behind the scenes as well. But, of course, YouTube content or YouTube comment section takes priority over Twitch chat. Which is why we waited to see your feedback for that Lorenzo Pellegrini signing. Thank you very much for watching, guys. A brilliant start to the season. Not quite perfect, because there were some goals conceded in there, but nearest makes no difference. Long may that continue. I'll see you tomorrow.